Here, it's your Unc Sir, and you get to ride with me as I go to work. If you hear music, that's that track Mutt in the background. I really fuck with that song for some reason. Feels like a an old, dirty '90s R&B type song. You know the kind I'm talking about, the kind where it's like, damn, it's a bop, but he's saying some fucked up shit. Anyway, hope you had a great weekend. I got to reconnect with nature. Got to reconnect with the elements this past weekend. Went to the beach with family and friends, and yeah, it was a vibe, man. It was a vibe. Let me tell you, if you need a way to recharge that battery, you tired of looking at screens in your hand or screens on the desk, go find your way to at least 3 out of the 4 elements, right? Let me explain. So I went to the beach, right? Me and my girl and a few friends, and let me tell you something. Beach accessories are part of the adult package. I don't give a damn what nobody tell you. You need and some of y'all already know this, you need a good tent. You feel me? You need a good chair, and I ain't talking about the little cheap ones from like goddamn Family Dollars. I'm talking about the kind of chair where you would take to an event and plant that hole and not move. You know what I'm talking about? You need you at least 2 of those, and you need you a rolling cart or a rolling cooler or both. You know what I'm saying? Because listen here, when I tell you them things came in clutch, because we went to the beach, right? You know, and I'm wearing a tank top. You know, I'm a little chunkier dude, so I like to breathe a little bit. So I'm wearing a tank top. You know, got the dreads dreading. You know, Crockies in sport mode. You know, for the sand, and I'm enjoying myself. The sun is bright. You know what I'm saying? The wind is blowing, the water is watering, the sand beneath my feet feels great. So I managed to get all 4. You feel me? Something about that vitamin D from the sun was enticing me, so I decided to, step out into it a little more. Let me tell you something. You need sunscreen everywhere, because although we had a great time, when I came to my shower to rinse the sand off and I went to take my tank top off, I felt a little twinge. I was like, whoa, what's that? Damn, like something scraped me. There was nothing to scrape me, but I did look in the mirror, and I noticed that there are some parts of my body that were covered by the tank top that were, caramel, a little caramel, yellowy, golden brown, and everything outside of that was red as fuck. I didn't even know I could get that red. So I have officially been sunburnt, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a great feeling. It's pain. Especially, you articulate your arms a lot when you're a technician. So I'm feeling this in every facet of my job, but it's my fault. But I'll tell you this, it's a happy fuck up. You ever had a happy fuck up where although the outcome may have come out a little less desirable, it was still worth it. You feel me? It was still worth it. Let me explain. Man, we went out there. Not only did we have great conversation and snacks, my favorite snacks, by the way, but I got to reconnect with people that understand where I'm at spiritually and mentally. You know what I'm saying? So I got to indulge in conversations that I ain't been able to have in a minute. So we were just sitting there talking about the planet, talking about the political climate, talking about the rise and fall of hip hop, Lil Wayne, Southern music, the over-reliance of Jay-Z from New Yorkers. Like we were deep into it. We got into the talk of the impact of hip hop from the South on the culture overall. Got to talk about your T.I.s, your Gucci's, your Futures, your goddamn Outkast, your Scarface, and there ain't nothing better than being able to expose well, I won't say expose, but introduce a new masterpiece of music to someone who had never heard it. One of my good friends, Remington, she had never heard Smile by Tupac and Scarface. So I told her, look, you take that Bluetooth speaker, you turn it towards you, and you listen to this masterpiece at work. And she looked at me like I was crazy, but I think I was right to do so, because who doesn't like Smile? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we got into other topics about the planet. We got to have a debate about our thoughts on the moon and what's there and what isn't, what it is, and how it affects the tide, and it was just a great conversation. Also, on another note, had a shark sighting. Yep, motherfucking Jaws is out there. Majority of people came out the water. You can probably imagine what race of people decided to stay in the water, although there was a shark spot. You're right. Yep, just that quick. Look at that. And I also got to talking about how awesome it is to be black where black people are. There's like certain unwritten rules that occur naturally. Let's say you walk into a room and there's 50% black people, right? You sit down. None of y'all know each other. None of y'all talking to each other. But somebody gets up, does something crazy. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna all look at each other for confirmation. It's just shit like that. That is the black experience that can't be explained. You know what I'm saying? And even though, some of us may find conflict in things, there are certain common truths that we all experience and can attest as law, damn near black law. You feel me? Like, for instance, thou shalt not come to somebody's house, right, and go into their kitchen without washing your hands. Like, that's just disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a couple times where you went into your own kitchen, you don't even wash your hands. But it's something about when you go to somebody else's shit. You know what I'm saying? Your manners on activate. You know what I'm saying? It's just law. You feel me? There's certain other things that are, just law, black law. You know what I'm saying? You don't go, you know what I'm saying, to everybody's house, you know what I'm saying, and take a shit. You feel me? It's just certain shit you can't do. You have to have at least, 6 to 8 months of close relationship before you comfortably take a shit at somebody else. Because you don't know what that bathroom like, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? It's just certain shit that is just black law. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You goddamn go to the grocery store. You feel me? You walking around, you looking at shit. You go to the chicken section, right? You see a pack for $8.98, and beside it is a pack for $8.72. You grab that $8.72. It's just certain shit that is just black law, cuz. You know what I'm saying? And we just express that freely. And another thing that happened, so when we went, to the beach, it was white. You know what I'm saying? It was really weird. We had our tent trying to decide where to go, and then we found out, these white people finna leave. So we planted our tent where the white people was leaving. Now, I want to tell you something, when we at the beach, we don't give a fuck about none of that shit that's going on over there. Y'all might be over there reading and shit, but we finna play our Bluetooth, not obsessively loud, but we gonna play our music, we gonna talk, we gonna laugh loud, because this is the beach, cuz. You know what I'm saying? So slowly but surely, white people started to leave. Not because we was a nuisance, not because we was too loud, but because, it's just the optic of seeing black people enjoy themselves and laughing and all this, And some of them can't stay in the sun too long either. But slowly but surely, right, as we throughout the day, because we got there at noon, and we stayed to a good 4:35, right? It's a good long day. But black people who were coming started to take their stakes and plant around us. So by the time we was leaving, it was all black folks with us. Isn't that amazing? Like how we naturally form a community. I even saw a friend of mine who I love dearly, Miss Jessica Lauren. I was so happy to see her. Look, let me tell you how much of a socially awkward person I still am to this day. I saw her and her mother setting up, and I was staring at her. I'm like, that look like my homie Jessica. And to those of you who been following this podcast for a minute, Jessica and I have worked together several times with Squad Goals, a Business Minute. Jessica is such an amazing soul, bro. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and do an ad. Make sure you're following Styled by Jessica Lauren. Absolutely adore that woman. She is a treasure. She is such. I love you, black woman. You are amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Anyway, so she pulls up, and I'm just staring. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna text her. You know what I'm saying? Because she trying to set up, and I saw she was having, a little trouble. She had a little doggy with her. That's another reason I knew it was her. Cause I seen the dog. But sending her a text like, hey, lady, either you got a twin or I'm sitting right next to you. So send it to her, you know what I'm saying? She don't even check her phone, which I love. I love that, actually. I don't take it personally, but when you're out at the beach, you should be enjoying your surroundings, not on your phone. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy these elements, bro. You came here to relax. You came here to be close to water. You feel me? So she don't even check it for I want to say an hour and a half. And that's cool. And then all of a sudden my phone vibrates. I check it. It's her. She's like, yo, I'm about to come over. So she comes over, you know what I'm saying? We speak. She speaks to everybody. I introduce her. And everybody was enamored with her puppy. So they went over there, pet her dog, and came on back. And I was just happy to just see someone that I know, and to see someone that I know and I've had such deep conversations with along the lines of mental health. And in fact, I'm going to be candid here. If you know about the Reason Summit that I did for men and women in January, the whole reason I executed that idea was because of two people, Ashley V, and because Jessica Lauren. It was their confirmation of it being much needed that I decided to execute. And so shout out to them. And but anyway, even when we was leaving, I made sure to go over there and speak, tell her to have a great time. It was how awesome it was to see her. And then we took it in for the day. But the thing is, I could never replicate the experience of sitting down with people, conversing, sharing your thoughts, debating on topics, agreeing, disagreeing, and just experiencing that. And I really think that's sorely needed. I think even if we feel that the community is not where it once was, I feel like we can heal it, we can fix it, we can repair it, we can reinforce the positivity of it if we just find our way back to the elements and away from the screens. But anyway, your big up that made us way to work. I'm going to get up with y'all next time. Please be safe. Go outside. Get yourself something to eat. And just remember, you are amazing. To all my fellas, you're that dude. Just like, the underground queens. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. And but yeah, to all my fellas, you're that dude. To all the ladies, you're a treasure. No matter where you are, near or far. All right? I'll get up with y'all later. Peace.